So I know for a fact when you first laid eyes upon the title of this video, you're probably instantly reminded of Domestic Girlfriend or Rent-A-Girlfriend. Two very infamous manga series that have definitely made a lot of waves in the anime and manga community in the past few years. And so because of that, I know for a fact this series will probably interest quite a bit of people because it kind of dives into some similar tendencies, but it definitely is, and I will say it, very well written. I will say 100% Operation True Love is very well written, and it is a series that I recently discovered. And the description that you could get kind of from the title for this video is definitely kind of what happens within the story so far. So let's talk about that. Let's do a brief summary of what Operation True Love is, and did that really happen? So our main female character, Su'a, she is someone that is a very kind, innocent, and somewhat of a cute main female character. She is someone that is just basically average. That is the best way to really describe her. We start the story off showcasing that she has a boyfriend, but her boyfriend isn't necessarily someone that is nice to her. For instance, he treats her pretty much like she's non-existent. He sides with other girls when they do stuff to her, or if she's getting frustrated, you know, he just doesn't protect her or help her, encourage her. He's just a really bad boyfriend. He has no regard for her whatsoever, and he is someone that just easily would just throw her into the trash, so to speak. And so, when we fast forward a few chapters after that, we get to see that the boyfriend of our main female character, Su'a, she catches him cheating with her sister. Not blood related sister, but pretty much sister, because they were, you know, growing up in the same household, they're foster sisters, it's, you know, they're basically sisters, so to speak. And so she catches her foster sister, cheating with her boyfriend. Now, she doesn't confront her boyfriend about this, she doesn't confront her sister about this, but she catches them with this other guy that is another love interest within the story. And this is where the story starts to really take shape. Basically finding out that, you know, wow, the boyfriend really is low as low can be. He isn't just treating her really horribly or ignoring her, he's also legitimately cheating on her. And so when she makes this discovery, instantly in your head it's like, just dump him. Like, just straight up dump him and move on, go on with your life. That's exactly what you should do, which honestly makes 100% perfect sense. That is exactly what she should do. And so when we see the events slowly unfold, and finally she works up the courage to be able to dump the sad boyfriend, she has this new love interest kind of enter into her life. This guy that is kind of more, he's a little bit stoic at first, and as she slowly gets to communicate with him, and more she, like, talks with him and he talks with her, she gets a little bit more bonded with him, and you can see that they become very good friends. And even in the latest chapter that I read, up to chapter 28, you know, they're pretty good friends. They're legitimate good friends. They help each other out, even if there is some complications. They definitely are pretty good friends. And so, when you look at the situation between the two characters, you're like, okay, they should go out. You know, that's the first thing you'll probably think of. Like, they seem like they would definitely help each other out a lot. However, things start to get a lot more complicated. So, basically, in Chapter 0, because there is a Chapter 0 to this series, it gives us a little bit of a brief summary of what to expect. We come to find out that every single person within this verse of Operation True Love has an overall set limit of how much love they can receive. And this is where, like I said, the plot really gets interesting. Basically, everybody within the world, let's say they have like a total love limit of 1,000, okay? Some obviously are in the billions, hundreds of thousands, etc., but let's just keep it simple. Low numbers, so to speak. Let's say someone has only like 100 love points, or, you know, 1,000 love points. You know, if they reach that threshold of love points, they will no longer be able to receive any more love. That's at least the way I understand it. And so basically, our main female character, Su'a, she has 0-0. For instance, she is not able to receive love points or move her number up at all. And this is obviously a very huge problem. You can already see where this is going to lead into. Basically, that means that she's probably never going to be able to really find someone to love, someone to love her, and she's going to pretty much be alone, which could explain a lot of the issues that she's been going through throughout her life, basically with what happened with her sister kind of, taking her boyfriend away from her, to the boyfriend treating her like garbage. It just, all this kind of falls into place like Legos, and it's like, this makes a lot of sense now, why she's been kind of treated so bad. But at the point in time when we come to find out a little bit more about the system, apparently the individual that created this said system is confused. Like, how did our main female character, Su'a, go under the radar for like 18 years without being noticed with this problem, and then they finally discover her, what is going on? And so she's tasked right now to figuring out how to raise her love points above 0, even though they never seen something like this. And if she does not do this, according to what has been explained, she will be eradicated. And I mean that word literally. She will be 100% exterminated if she is not able to raise her love points. So she has a lot of things behind the scenes that is pushing her on the back to get things done. If she doesn't, she will die. Now, let's talk about these love points and how they're exactly obtained. So, these love points within the story, they can be obtained in almost pretty much any way you can kind of think of. For instance, either through jealousy, actual love, or just things that just kind of fall into that very vague category. That is how you get a love point. And so, in this regard, she needs to somehow make these love points go up and stick. Because we do see a few moments in the series where she does get a point, but the point disappears and it resets back to 0. So the question you start to wonder is, so if the points are disappearing that she gets, does this mean that the romantic feelings or any love that those people have for her resets back to 0 once again as well? Or is there just something else going on? Or maybe her love is just so high that she broke the system? Because in terms of coding, I've seen this in games before when I've, broke games in terms of, level scaling and stuff. Like, Castle Crashers is a good example. I don't know how many of you guys have actually ever played that game, but it's a very old game, actually, at this point in time. But, in Castle Crashers, I know if you were to go beyond a certain limit of level or stats, if you're able to break it, basically, your stats would become so astronomically high, it would go into the negatives. And this happens for a lot of stuff. If you just go too high, the thing just starts, the numbers go negative. And maybe it's because her numbers are just so high, it's 0. That's also a possibility. So, we'll have to see on that regard. I just think that, Operation True Love is really fascinating because it's the whole concept of her having to figure out how to raise her points, and so she has to do elements of cheating or jealousy, etc. Yeah, I legit mean that. Basically, the main female character, right now, to raise her points so she doesn't get eradicated, she's trying to make her old boyfriend jealous, and that would potentially give her points. So she's trying to become a cheater and all that, trying to do anything she can to be able to not die. And I think this is a very fascinating plot point because obviously she doesn't want to be scum, she doesn't want to be a bad person, but obviously thanks to this system behind the scenes, she's being pushed down that route. And the story's getting really interesting. I don't know, I really like Operation True Love. It's a good read. It's a legitimately good read, because I don't normally talk about a lot of romance stories, but I will have to say, if you're into any form of slice life romance story, and let's say you, in some way, you like Domestic Girlfriend and even Rent-A-Girlfriend, but you want it, I guess, better written to a degree, I really recommend Operation True Love. It's really good. I 100% recommend it. It is a really good story so far. I can't speak for things later on. Obviously, things can change. But at least with the 28 chapters I have read, it is a solid romance series that I 100% recommend anyone that likes any form of, or theme of romance, etc., to give it a shot. But I guess I'll leave it at that. Now, if you're wanting to read this series for yourself, I will have the link in the description. As always, click on the link and you'll be able to, read it for yourself. It's completely free on, WEBTOON legally as well, so do not worry about that. But I guess I'll leave it there for now. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave me a like. It does help me out a lot. And with that, Chibi out.